On a crisp September morning, the kind where summer's heat finally surrenders to fall's first chill, I found myself at the community center, stacking food boxes for our neighborhood's aid program. My name's Lieutenant Daniel Harris, a black man who runs the local police precinct. But today, I was just Dan, a volunteer in jeans and a faded t-shirt, blending in to see the impact of a program I'd poured my heart into. These weren't just any donations. Each box was carefully packed with nutritious food, a symbol of my vision for community policing that directly met people's needs. As I worked, I waved to Mrs. Evelyn Carter, a 75-year-old widow whose silver hair and floral dress reminded me of my late grandmother. Evelyn's fixed income barely covered her meds, let alone groceries, and her warm smile as I handed her 2 boxes, one with fresh produce, the other with pantry staples, made the early wake-up worth it. But trouble was brewing. A sharp voice cut through the morning calm. "Hey, what's going on? Are those the premium boxes?" I turned to see a young man, maybe 20, eyeing the packages with indignation. This was Ethan Caldwell, though I didn't know it yet. Dressed in designer clothes, his entitled sneer suggested the world owed him everything. "Those are mine," he declared, glaring at me and Evelyn. "People like you should wait behind real Americans." His words dripped with racist contempt as he grabbed a box meant for Evelyn, spilling apples and shattering eggs on the pavement. "Oops," he smirked, not even pretending it was an accident. Before I could explain I was distributing, not taking, a woman stormed over Lillian Caldwell, HOA president, in pristine tennis whites despite no sign of a game. Her cold eyes narrowed as she demanded, "Who authorized you to give away my son's boxes?" She pulled out her phone, filming me and Evelyn, accusing us of stealing. "I'm reporting you for harassment," she snapped, "and I want to speak to whoever's in charge." I could have flashed my badge right then, watched her arrogance crumble, but I believe in letting people dig their own graves. "This is a police-sponsored program, ma'am," I said calmly, pointing to the banner overhead. "Contact the station if you have concerns." Lillian's face tightened, but she didn't back down. As HOA president, I should have been consulted. "These belong to my son." She ordered Ethan to snap photos of my car's license plate, oblivious to the security camera capturing every move. As they stormed off, I helped Evelyn salvage what we could, promising her this wouldn't happen again. Her quiet confession, "It's not the first time she's done this," stuck with me. Back home, my phone buzzed with notifications. Lillian had gone live online, titled "Caught a Thief Stealing My Son's Food Boxes." Little did she know, she'd just picked the wrong fight. Within minutes, Lillian was on the phone with the police, her voice thick with fake outrage. "There's a black man at the community center stealing boxes my son was entitled to." Her live stream gained traction, painting me as a thief hoarding premium packages for undeserving friends. She even claimed I'd threatened Ethan. Pure fiction. Less than half an hour later, a cruiser pulled up outside my modest home. Officers Lopez and Bennett approached, with Lillian and Ethan trailing like they'd already won. Lillian, still filming, narrated her citizen's arrest. I opened the door with a smile. "Evening, officers." "Coffee." Lopez froze, recognizing me instantly. Bennett, newer to the force, looked puzzled. Lillian pushed forward, demanding, "Arrest him. He stole my son's boxes. Why are you being polite?" I locked eyes with Lopez, who was visibly uncomfortable. "Good evening, Lou," he caught himself. "Mr. Harris." Lillian, oblivious, screeched, "Arrest him now. I want your supervisor." That was my cue. I pulled out my phone, showed my ID badge, and clipped my precinct badge to my belt. "I'm Lieutenant Daniel Harris. I run this precinct. Every officer here reports to me." The silence was electric. Ethan backed away, horrified. Lillian's phone drooped as her face paled. Desperate, she dialed my supervisor, and my phone rang. "Lieutenant Harris speaking." I answered, watching her phone slip from her hand and clatter on the porch. "You run the precinct?" she stammered, the weight of her mistake crashing down. She'd called the cops on the man who commanded them all. "This is a misunderstanding," Lillian pleaded, her voice shrill. "I was protecting our community." I raised a hand. "You assumed I was stealing because of how I look. You filed a false report of crime." Turning to the officers, I ordered, "File a full incident report. Include the false accusations, the damaged food for a senior, and her live stream. It's defamation." Lillian's last-ditch threat, "I know people at City Hall," fell flat. "So do I replied. "It's my job." I sent her and Ethan home, but the damage was done. Neighbors had seen her humiliation, and her live stream was spreading like wildfire. That night, Evelyn's words echoed. It's not the first time. As both a resident and precinct commander, I couldn't ignore the possibility that Lillian was using her HOA power to discriminate. Monday morning, I called my team to the precinct, ordering a review of all HOA complaints in Lillian's district. Security footage showed her at multiple distributions, steering aid away from minority residents. Officer Hayes reported 9 unprocessed complaints from Black and Hispanic families about HOA harassment dismissed as neighborly disputes. Evelyn shared her own records. Every time she applied for aid, a new violation notice appeared. The pattern was clear. Lillian targeted those she deemed undesirable. Then came a surprise. Ethan knocked on my door, nervous and alone. "I'm sorry for what my mom said," he began, handing me a USB drive. "These are HOA emails. She's been blocking Black and Hispanic families from food aid." He admitted helping her, raised to believe people like me didn't belong. But seeing his friend's family denied help after a job loss cracked his worldview. "It's wrong," he said. "I've been leaving food on Mrs. Carter's porch to make up for it." His courage stunned me, a kid raised in privilege, choosing accountability. Lillian, meanwhile, doubled down, installing a sign at the community center, "Food distribution, residents in good standing only." She told a local blogger she was protecting the community from handouts. But Ethan texted me a photo of himself removing the sign, captioned, "Doing what I can." The HOA meeting loomed, and word spread that something big was coming. The parking lot was packed, the air thick with tension. I arrived in civilian clothes, slipping into the back row. Lillian, poised at the podium, opened with a veiled attack. "Certain people are abusing power to intimidate our leadership," she said, her coded language clear. When she opened the floor, I stepped to the mic. "You're not even a homeowner." Lillian lied, calling for security. But the crowd demanded I speak. "I'm Lieutenant Daniel Harris, precinct commander and an 8-year resident," I began. "The HOA should serve everyone, not just those who look like Mrs. Caldwell." I played security footage of Lillian knocking over Evelyn's boxes, followed by audio of her saying, "I don't want those people getting food here." Emails showed her prioritizing traditional residents, and financial records revealed she'd siphoned $25,000 for her home's security unapproved. The room tensed, gasps rippling through the crowd. Then Ethan stood, walking to the mic as Lillian's face froze. "Everything Lieutenant Harris said is true," he declared. "My mom rated minority families undesirable for aid. I helped her." He played a recording of Lillian instructing him to keep the neighborhood clean. Turning to her, he said, "I'm sorry, Mom, but I can't do this anymore." Lillian lunged, screaming, "How could you betray me?" But Ethan stood firm. Residents erupted, sharing stories of denied aid and harassment. The board voted 95% to oust Lillian as president, forming a committee to review all policies. Lillian's final outburst, "I built this community. Without me, it'd be overrun by them," shocked even her allies. Her bigotry laid bare. She stormed out as the vote sealed her fate. She was forced to repay misappropriated funds, resigned from all roles, and sold her house at a loss, fleeing to another state. Ethan stayed, buying a condo and volunteering at the food program, working with Evelyn to deliver to seniors. His transformation from entitled brat to community advocate was the real surprise. The neighborhood changed. The precinct and residents grew closer, with officers joining distribution days and a new banner proclaiming, "Food for all. No exceptions." 6 months later, Ethan organized a unity celebration, "Free for all," unveiling a sign. "We all deserve help if we're willing to give it." As kids from every background played together, Evelyn thanked me. "You didn't give up on us," she said. I smiled. "I just did what anyone should: protect everyone equally." Lillian, I heard, tried to bully her new HOA. Some never learn. But here, justice won, and our community found a new way forward.